Okay, so I wanted to take you through a leg session. So we're starting off with a seated leg curl. Now, this is again because the seated leg curl is pretty hard to get shortened, and that ability just diminishes very quickly. So having this at the start of the session makes a good amount of sense. Secondly, having a leg extension before any other movement, it helps warm up the knee joint passively, and my knees are pretty bad at anyways. As you can see, I also use a seat belt just to increase the stability, and then I have a pad on my thighs, just because the normal thigh pad is pretty painful to actually have on your thighs, and you don't want any extra pain during a set, because you have the upper limit of how much pain you can actually manage during a set. So we don't want any other external pain. Secondly, we're on the leg extension. So now our knees have been warmed up pretty passively. Of course, we're also warming up on the leg extension. I'm not showing that here, but it's just the leg extension will feel so much better if you do the leg curl first. Now, this is not the typical leg extension machine. This is actually a pretty shit one. It has everything wrong with it. The resistance profile is weird. It is incredibly heavy in the short, and there's no load in the lengthened, which just doesn't really match that well with our quad stability. We usually want something that's pretty easy at the bottom, pretty easy at the top, and then hardest in the middle part. At the same time, the seat is not that good. You can't make that many adjustments, but no matter the kit, you can always get a good sit out of it. So if you're somebody that doesn't have the best of kits, don't think too much about it. Just train hard and the results will come anyways. Next up, we have a belt squat. So this has before been a hack squat, but the hack squat just doesn't feel good for my body. My knees were not really taking it, and my lower back and just for me, the hack squat is not that good. For you, it might be. So this could be any squat variation. This could be a hack squat. This could be a pendulum. I'm just choosing a belt squat because that fits nice in, and I can get some good stimulus out of a belt squat. There's not much to say about this. It's just squat. Try to get as much range of motion. Try to get as much knee flexion as possible. But yeah, good advice for newer lifters. If you have any movement where the resistance just changes very quickly and you have not trained for that long, it can be quite hard to actually get your muscles to connect and just quickly fire up for when it gets very hard. So another example like this is the pendulum. If you have never trained that much before and you do a pendulum where it just suddenly gets hard in that mid-range, it can throw you off. So if you're new to the gym, just trying to find movements that are more continuous in their resistance. Next up, we have IDLs. So this is just a hinge pattern. This could also be SLDLs, but I have SLDLs on my lower day. Now IDLs, you just pick something up, bend down, and then go up again. A cue that I really like is to think about having your butt up against the door and trying to open that door with your butt. Lastly, we have an adductor machine. Now, I have a problem with this adductor machine. As you can see, I can't fit any more load into this. And this is why it's dead last in the session, because if I was to do this fresh, I would need to do so many reps that it would just be unbearable. But you can have this pretty much anywhere in your session, depending on how much you need adductors. If you have really shit adductors, then you could do this at the start. But if it's not that bad, then yeah, you can just fit it in wherever you want to.